Hey everybody, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is my detailed review and install of the Flowmaster Outlaw Series catback exhaust system, available for your 2015 and up 2.7 liter EcoBoost powered F-150. Alright guys, in this video, I'm going to break down the sound profile you can expect when checking out the Outlaw Series catback for your EcoBoost. We're going to dissect the construction and materials here with this system, and then finally we'll take a quick little walkthrough of the install. And for the majority of owners out there, 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. There is a small amount of cutting with some owners out there, but I will talk about that more in detail later on. The Outlaw Series from Flowmaster is without a doubt one of their most aggressive offerings and probably one of the most aggressive catbacks available in the aftermarket. So with that said, this is without a doubt going to be for the EcoBoost owners out there who want to be heard and want a whole bunch of noise from that turbo 6-banger. Now this is also going to be one of the only aftermarket catbacks available that will give you some options when it comes to configuration thanks to the included piping from Flowmaster. You have the ability to do this thing as a dual split side exit or a dual split rear exit depending on your mood. So with all that said, let's take a closer look. Since this is an exhaust, let's talk sound first and foremost here, guys. And as advertised, the Outlaw Series is an absolute screamer with the EcoBoost trucks. An easy 5 out of 5 on my 1 to 5 or 1 to wake the neighbor scale. You're getting a ton of noise, a ton of turbo noise, a ton of engine noise, all the noises basically here. And as loud as this thing is on the outside is equally as loud on the inside. Some of you guys might be into that, others maybe not so much. Now, if you are the type of truck owner out there who takes a lot of trips with the family, long road trips, things like that, this one might drive the family a little crazy after a few hours on the road. So if you are looking for a slightly more quiet experience inside the cab, but you want to stick with a name like Flowmaster, be sure to check out their Force 2 or maybe even the American Thunder. Alright guys, so we've established this thing is very loud with the sound clips and my description of course here, but what else can you expect when checking out the Outlaw Series? Well, again, one of the coolest things I think with this exhaust is that it gives you some options when it comes to configuration. Dual split side exit using these pipes, or you can go dual split rear exit with these pipes depending on what you're into. Honestly, Flowmaster is one of the only companies I see doing it at this point, and it does make them a little bit more desirable because of that. On the topic of price, guys, you think those extra pipes will add to the price a little bit, and they will, but really not as bad as you might think. In my opinion, the Flowmaster systems in the grand scale here are going to fall in the middle of the road when it does come to price, along with some of the MagnaFlow systems and even the stainless work stuff to a certain extent. You're looking at right around $800 for the Outlaw catback here, which again really isn't all that bad when you do factor in that you're getting some options when it comes to configuration, and you are getting some pretty solid materials as well. And speaking of materials, the Flowmaster is going to boast 409 grade stainless steel. Much like that price being middle of the road, the 409 grade stainless is definitely a middle of the road material. You're not getting the 304 on the high side, and you're definitely not getting the aluminized steel on the low side. Instead, 409, a great material overall, very solid, and it's something that Flowmaster uses with a lot of their systems. And in fact, it's actually going to be pretty good at reducing corrosion if you live in a saltier climate or maybe a state that sees a lot of salt during the winter months. Going even further with the construction, you're going to find 3-inch mandrel bent tubing pretty much throughout the entire Outlaw Series system. Again, all 409 grade stainless steel like we just talked about, the little baby Outlaw Series muffler here, and then finally the twin 4-inch tips done up in black. Now these tips are actually a ceramic coating, they're not painted, which is a lot better for you guys because that means they're not going to chip, they're not going to fade or anything like that over the years. As far as changing out those tips, well again, something that is very easy to do. You totally don't have to drop the entire exhaust system to do so. You got the dual split side here, the dual split rear exit, all of these held on by 2 clamps. So if and when you did want to eventually mix it up a little bit, simply remove the clamps, switch out the pipes, and you're good to go. Again, something very quick, very easy to do if you want to change them up. As I mentioned at the top of the video, guys, the install is going to be very straightforward for a majority of owners out there. So let's call it 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. A few owners will have to cut, basically regular cab owners with an 8-foot bed or Super Crew owners with a 6.5-foot bed. Luckily for you guys though, Flowmaster lays out very clearly where you need to cut. If you are one of these owners, just make sure you have your saws on, a fresh metal blade ready to rock and roll. If not, you're really only looking at a socket set for the rest of the owners out there. So again, we'll call it 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe an hour or 2 in the garage or driveway before you're making some noise. So if you're the type of EcoBoost owner who really wants to be heard and doesn't mind hearing a whole bunch of sound inside the cab of your truck, I think you'll really enjoy the Outlaw Series, and here's why. You're getting some pretty solid materials thanks to the 409 grade stainless. You're getting a solid build overall thanks to the Flowmaster quality. Obviously that great tone, that loud tone, and then finally the interchangeable exhaust tips, which is a big plus for me. So that's my review of the Flowmaster Outlaw series for your EcoBoost, which you can find right here at AmericanMuscle.com.